On today's episode of The Candid Chef, we're hanging out with Jon Hochman, owner of Sherbrooke Street Deli. You can find Jon in his kitchen at 102 Sherbrooke Street. Jon's restaurant is influenced by both New York and Montreal-style delis, with the menu being heavily inspired by his family's home cooking. Jon partnered with FB Hospitality to open his restaurant in March 2015. He also owns the Sherbrooke Street Deli food truck that was parked in the corner of Pembina and McGillivray this past summer. Jon is in his kitchen starting in the early hours of the morning. Let's go check it out. Hi, Jon.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. What are we making today?
We're going to be doing some soft scrambled eggs with roasted potatoes, schmaltz onions, some dill, and some green onions.
So when do you normally eat this dish?
For me, like working in the kitchen and working in the business, in the restaurant business, it's really hard to kind of like be eating through the day. So for me, I always find like I'm always drawn to eating eggs, kind of that kind of breakfasty food, more like when I'm done shift. Late at night or even first thing in the morning.
Makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
How long have you been in the industry for?
For about 12 years now.
Where did you get started? What was your first move?
Well, I first fell in love with cooking. I worked at a summer camp out in Ontario.
Okay.
And I was washing dishes and kind of like putting together meals for campers. That's where I kind of first got drawn to the kitchen.
Yeah.
My first actual job was at a Dairy Queen, in which I actually got let go because they said I'd never make it in the business, which I thought was pretty funny. Yeah.
Holy. And did you serve ice cream there?
Of course.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
you have to get that perfect like Dairy Queen D at the top. So, I basically learned that, and then they fired me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How crushing is that? And now we're here, right?
Now we're here. It's okay. It's a learning experience.
There you go.
Yeah.
What has been for you the biggest difference switching from kind of always working in the industry at night to taking these morning shifts now?
Well, between the prep side, it's just great. I mean, waking up in the morning, nobody's out on the street. You kind of like, it's a different vibe, right? It's like you're starting the day. You don't have any of the stresses of like the regular day yet.
Had you ever traveled to New York or Montreal to kind of like do some investigations or?
Yeah, Montreal. New York, I actually haven't been. I'm just like very familiar with what their offerings are as far as delis go.
Yeah.
For Montreal though, like Schwartz's, the Maine, these are places that, are delicious. And of course I was very inspired by it. So that's where we are today.
Where do you do all of the prep for, your bagels and just everything? I mean, that would take a lot of space to brine and kind of let all that meat sit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a separate prep facility where we do most of our brining and our smoking.
Yeah.
Even our big batches like our soups and our coleslaw.
Yeah.
So we have a prep kitchen for that. And then, for our bagels, we make them here every morning.
Did you always kind of know that you would end up having a deli, or was it something that you just kind of came to on the road to get here?
Throughout all my career, my food has always kind of had a little bit of like my roots into it.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to open a deli. From the age of like 9 to 13, I would actually like make up little like deli concepts. and I'd call it like Saul's Delicatessen, and I'd name it after my grandfather. Because he would always like show me like, what delis are all about.
Yeah.
And so I think subconsciously I always knew that I wanted to do deli.
What have you kind of learned, having worked in, I don't know, how many restaurants have you worked in?
I'd probably say like six or 7 restaurants. All, from steakhouses to, Spanish tapas restaurants to sushi restaurants.
Yeah.
A wide variety. I've definitely diversified in my career, but for me, it's just doing this casual food is the most appealing.
Yeah.
You could still take all those techniques and the care that you would for, the finer foods.
Yeah.
And bring it to something like this.
Yeah.
And I mean, the end product is just so amazing.
If I want to come back and have you cook for me again, where can I come find you?
We are at 102 Sherbrooke, so just north of Westminster in the West Broadway area.
Cool. And if you want to find the recipe for what we made today, it will be on the Candid Chef website, thecandidchef.com. And yeah, thanks for having me. Let's dig in.
Thanks for coming down.
A thank you to our sponsor, Peak of the Market.